Welcome back to Crystal Palace here on FC26. We start with what is becoming a rather hot and fierce rivalry between Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest. It's the Carabao Cup quarter-final on this occasion. Of course, Nottingham Forest in real life bumped Crystal Palace down a European tier. And then in this save, Nottingham Forest have bumped Crystal Palace down a European tier the following season as well. So if we could at least get one over on them by knocking them out of the Carabao Cup, that would be great, please, if you don't mind. So we're going to start with that. Then we've got Arsenal in the league, which is obviously not going to be very easy at all. And then Ipswich away and Sunderland at home, which you'd like to think would be 6 points. But you never can guarantee such things, can you? Just look at that Wolves result to guide you as to which way that might well go. So we want to go through in this competition. We can do so. It will make January even busier. There's already 8 games scheduled in January. We could make it 10 if we win this next game, although some may well get moved as per the league fixtures if there's some rescheduling going on. So hopefully it won't be that busy in January. 10 games in 1 month is just absurd, really. But we'll do what we can to get ourselves through, and then we'll just deal with what we have in front of us. All we can do is play the games that are given to us and hope that we've got the squad depth to be able to deal with it. If we don't have the squad depth to deal with it, we do have a couple of youngsters in the youth academy that can step up. Notably Allison, who's a 61 rated CDM, and Ethan Brooks, who's a 63 rated left winger and striker. Actually, Allison, we're training to be a centre-back, and hopefully he'll complete that sooner than 31 weeks. But I think it's probably going to be the end of the season by the time he turns into a centre-back for next year. Right, first port of call is bringing Nottingham Forest to Selhurst Park and beating them, please. Drop the video a like if you're enjoying the save. I'd appreciate it very much. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more. Valencia for you this evening, of course, but right now the focus is here in London. Nottingham Forest have Matt Sells in goal. Gallo, Bindon, Milenkovic, Sangare, Yates, Ndoye, Gibbs-White, Bakwa, and Igor Jesus up top. It was Nico Williams at right back. It's a relatively strong side from Ange put out for this one. I'm on the bench there, number 11, Chris Wood. Not that you can see because actually it's behind my face. They've got Amari Hutchinson and a couple of others to call upon should they need them. We've started a slightly rotated side for the Cup because it's an opportunity for fringe players to get some first team football, but so far those fringe players have gotten us this far in the Cup, so they've been well worth their inclusion. Krupi grabbed a goal against Liverpool that was very instrumental in league game recently as well. Actually, no, was that the it was a league game, wasn't it? Or was it Liverpool in the Cup? No, I'm sure it was Liverpool in the league. Regardless, he starts again on the right hand side for us here, and hopefully we'll have another good game. Could even, maybe, get him in behind if we just timed that right, which I'm not sure we did. We didn't. We've won the header, though. Oh, Christ. Careful, Jack. Terrible touch. Strike. Kepa tips it over the top. Igor Jesus does not give them the lead yet. Gibbs-White with the corner. And it is Igor underneath it, and that one was further away. Igor Jesus. That's the reverse. That's really well done. And back was in. He's offside. That was really, really well worked. And had he been onside, it was surely going to be 1-0. Oh, and it's so close as well. Just as was the offside at the other end earlier on in the game too. Narrow margins here in the quarter-final. It's rather easy for Nico Williams to step in and get in on that. That's not good enough from us there trying to build on the counter-attack. Not long to go till half-time here. Still 0-0 at Selhurst Park. A couple of episodes ago, that was the scoreline that haunted us, but we have been able to bag some goals and get some wins more regularly recently. Hopefully we'll be able to find a way through before the end of this game, even if it is going to be 0-0 at the break here, which it looks like it will be if Ezel Zuli can't keep that in, which is indeed the case. McKennie is great at breaking up play, but when it comes to building up play, going the other way, he hasn't been that impressive. I feel like I definitely have missed Curtis Jones's creative contributions. Chris Richards has done well there and actually earned us a goal kick as well somehow. We've got Arsenal next to come, so we obviously want Curtis and as many of our first team regulars fit for that as we can, with then Ipswich and Sunderland to come later in the month. This is getting a bit congested now here on the edge of the box. That's a lovely turn by Gibbs-White, and that would have been a stunning goal. Had he done the defender like that and then traversed that into the far corner, that would have been one of the best goals we've seen all season. Kubo off the bench for them. That's quite the introduction to be able to make. It's a great ball out wide. Looking for Dan and Doy, who's absolutely destroyed the defender by just dinking it over in Ronaldinho style, but Riyad's won it back. I've asked Tamura to go, and he has gone. I'm going to drive centrally here and just hope that Uche holds his position. As he has done, the substitutes make an instant impact here at Selhurst Park, and Crystal Palace have themselves a 0-0 lead. And that is solely down to Amura and his electric pace. It's a lovely ball into Ezozuli. It could be in again here. Looking for Uche around the corner, who's timed his run perfectly. Kristantis Uche lets me down. Finish the game off, Kristantis, please. Kubo up against Shepherd. Anderson with the effort, but that's straight at Kepa. Comfortable enough for the Spaniard to deal with. Been a brilliant signing for us, Kepa. Very, very good stand-in second goalkeeper. Not really put a foot or a hand wrong all season so far. Ezil Zuli's in now. Can he do what Uche couldn't? No, he's done exactly the bloody same as Uche. Oh, it's a great ball. Kubo down. And Gibbs White, he's tried the Trivela once. He's tried the Trivela twice. And on the second occasion, it does need the save, but it still doesn't go in. And that's the most important thing for me. There are 3.5 minutes to go here at Selhurst Park. It's not been a straightforward game. We have managed to get the breakthrough thanks to the substitutes. And fingers crossed we'll be able to hold on to this advantage thanks to those that started the game. Igor Jesus, Curtis Jones doesn't get it away very well. Kubo now their substitute, looking to have the final impact here in regulation time. Igor Jesus backs it up, turns it round. Chris Richards in the way. Shepherd gets it out of his feet to Timber. And the fresh legs of this substitute should be enough to see the game done and dusted. Uche then looking for Amora. Can I get there? No, but that should be game, and that'll be us into the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. The march continues towards a piece of silverware here for Crystal Palace in this save. We're one final played, one final lost so far, but hopefully we'll have the opportunity to play many more in the remainder of this save. Arsenal 1, Man United 1 is the full-time result in the other game that was ongoing at the same time. A game in which Manchester United have won on penalties by 5-4. Spurs knock out Swansea. I'd probably rather Manchester United over anyone else, because you presume Villa are going to beat West Ham. Villa weren't great against us, actually, but Villa, I just don't want Spurs, basically. I don't want Tottenham. The most important thing is that we avoid Tottenham in the semi-finals. Right, 5th placed Crystal Palace plays 8th placed Arsenal, as they're on a bit of a recovery run right now, but we want to go higher in the table ourselves, please. Right, the Arsenal are a little bit good, although their league position would not hint as such. An 88 rated Mike Magnon in goal. Ben White, Nico Schlotterbeck, Sven Botman and Calafiori. Midfield 3 is as you might expect it to be. Front 3 is as you might expect it to be, maybe. Eze on the bench. They've also got Zubimendi on the bench still. But there's 2 centre-backs have changed. Of course, they sold Saliba season 1. They sold Gabriel season 2. But they've got Schlotterbeck and Botman as their back 2 at the moment, which are, well, not just as good, but certainly still very high quality. Arsenal 8th in the division is a real surprise. I wonder whether Mikel Arteta might be under a little bit of pressure because they are where they are in the league. But an 88 rated Mike Magnon in goal is pretty remarkable too, considering they've got an 87 rated David Raya that they didn't really need to replace, you don't feel. Declan Rice running on, playing more of the role of an 8 than a 6 at the minute. Gyökeres's effort, though, is very tame. And maybe that's why they're 8th in the league and not top, because he can't finish. Erdegaard and Rice. Gyökeres. Erdegaard. Diamande. Rock solid and in the way again. Erdegaard gets back to me, though. Here's Gyökeres again. Saka moving. Victor not sure which way he wants to go. Rice. Saka. Actually did show him onto his left there, which was not the best of things to have done. Declan Rice, however, might be in a bit of trouble here. I mean, that surely is a yellow at the very least for it being a counter-attacking move. He's really gotten away with one there, Dec. That's just, I mean, again, you can't really see any of the action as they fall out the bottom of the frame, but that was a poor challenge that definitely stops the flow of the play. I feel like he should have picked up at least a booking for that, and it was quite a difficult, hard challenge. Maybe lucky not to see more than a yellow. Oh my lord, Quinton Timber nearly gave us a stunning opening goal. Doesn't matter whether he got 11 men or 10 men or 13 men. There was no stopping that on its way to goal. Oh, there was stopping his pass though, unfortunately. Erdegaard intercepts well. I've not done much in this game other than defend and have one random shot from distance. But the random shot from distance is actually the closest we've come to a goal so far in the game. And Amura's in behind here. Slotterbeck has kept up with him somehow. He's Declan Rice again. He's seeing a lot of the ball at the minute. Chopped him the same way that he chopped me. Only this time I got the ball. Martinelli, Gyökeres, Diamande's in the way. That's a vital interception from the centre-back. 39th minute, Saka's going to deliver the corner. It's not a bad one, but Botman's header isn't any good. Curtis Jones looking for Sarr here. That's not Sarr, that's John Duran, but he's in the box and he's in a dangerous spot and he's gotten away from the defender and Schlotterbeck's in the way, but Schlotterbeck might have used the hand. It looked like it was his leg that got there, but the referee thinks he's seen something else. Nico Schlotterbeck, one of the highest rated centre-backs in the division. That arm looks like it's away from his body. We need to see that again, but I think this is a genuine, legitimate handball penalty that's been given by the referee correctly. Let's watch it play out here. Nice turn by John Duran to get back inside, and then as the play plays on, Schlotterbeck, that arm is out. Oh, but has it come off his knee? It has come off his leg and into, to be fair, his shoulder by the looks of things is where it's actually connected. So maybe actually it's not a penalty or as clear cut as we thought by that previous replay. Off the leg. Definitely leg. And onto the shoulder, which has been previously given as handball in-game in a recent episode. And we obviously quite rightly determined that it wasn't handball. And that also isn't handball. No penalty. Should not have been given by the referee. And Ismaila Sarr will miss this one, just as he missed the last one that we got given for handball. There have been more overturns from VAR than there have been legitimate penalties given so far since we reintroduced handballs for penalties. But you guys did, judging by the feedback in the comments, you liked the addition of it. So we're going to stick with it. I'm enjoying it as well, to be fair. Adds a little bit of extra flavour, doesn't it? Cut this back. Oh! Who needs a penalty when you've got John Duran from open play from a tight angle? 6th goal of the season for the big boy. We have ourselves the goal to go in front anyway 2 minutes later. No idea how he squeezed that in from such a tight range. Amura down the left-hand side. Good movement by Duran to find a bit of space. First time effort. Somehow squeezes it through the corridor of Schlotterbeck. Post. Goalkeeper post. And in off the far one to give us the advantage. Tiki-taka Palace indeed. Up the Eagles. Up we go. Alright. Yeah, that's not gone well, has it? Saka versus Slater has very much come off Saka best there. Oh. Bukayo Saka wants to go for the win. I tried to step in with Diamande there. Just here. And just missed the ball. And then Lacroix actually steps in and tries to block the shot still. And Saka has just, well, found the postage stamp of gap that was available to him. That is Bukayo Saka at his free-flowing very best. 1-1. Trossard to Gyökeres. Gyökeres. Driven hard and low, but easy enough. The man between the sticks to deal with it. Curtis Jones looking for Ismaila Sarr. Trying to leave Calafiori for dead, but Calafiori just deals with everything that Ismaila Sarr has thrown at him so far. That's a heavy touch, but I can't quite get to it. Timber's in the way of that, though. Through the gap. Jones right back. Jones again. Run for me, John. Run for me, John. Duran. Duran! Duran Duran! Hungry like the wolf is our striker. 2 in 1. 2-2-1. 3 points. Gyökeres. Erdegaard. Let's not, shall we? Well, in Diamande. Oh, and space for Sarr. Loads of space for Sarr. Duran for a hat-trick. Schlotterbeck's in the way. Calafiori just swings at that. Oh, and Sarr's actually kept it in there. And there's space in the middle here for Quinton Timber. Oh, that was properly bananaing in towards the back of the net. Might have taken a deflection on its way towards goal. Let's see what we can do from the corner, maybe, to seal it with a third. Mikel Merino out as far as Slater. Yeah, that'll be game. Big win, that. Really important win. Not only just to get 3 points, but to get a win over a potential Champions League rival as well. That's a really important result. You can't underestimate how important that fixture has been for us on this occasion. We need other sides around us to drop points as well, please. We were 5th prior to that game. We are now up into 4th on 32 points. Manchester City and Spurs both lead the way on 37. Newcastle could get up to 36 if they win their game in hand. And we find ourselves 2 points inside the top 4. Liverpool on 30, Villa on 30, Forest and Fulham on 27. 29, Arsenal 27, Chelsea 25. And they have a game in hand against Manchester United, which is coming. But at the minute, Chelsea could get up to 9th and 9th only if they win that. Right, now, I would like to not finish 4th this year, just in case an English side wins the bloody Europa League. So, let's make sure we can get ourselves into the top 3 if we can. Ipswich Town next. Now, I'm torn between the next two as to which to play and which to sim. Ipswich is the away game, so you'd say play that. But Ipswich are having a much worse season, so you'd say maybe sim that. But actually, they've just been drawing a lot. They've not necessarily lost any more than Sunderland, so we will play Ipswich away from home at Portman Road. A match has been rescheduled in February. Okay, is that then maybe where the Carabao Cup semi-finals have been drawn? Is it 1 leg now? No, it is 2 legs. So we've got Manchester United in the Carabao Cup semi-final. First leg there. And then second leg has now been moved to February. So there's still... Now there's 9 games in the month of January. And the 10th has now snuck its way into February. But, I mean, it's still a game every 3 or 4 days for, like, 6 weeks. If not significantly more than. So it's a ridiculously busy part of the season, isn't it? Manchester United is definitely winnable, though, as a double-header. We obviously just battered them by 3-0. Somehow, he's still in his job at the minute. You ask the same in real life. If he's still there by this point in real life, December 2025... Friday, December 25th, 2026, then you really will be questioning everything about Manchester. Of course, we've got a game on Christmas Day. Well done, game. You've excelled again. Christmas Day, everybody from South London is going to South Suffolk. Ipswich lining up at home here. They're threatened with relegation, but just outside the zone at the moment. Bazunu, Furlong, Torreira, O'Shea and Roth. Matusiwa and Jefferson Lerma holding. Philogene, Jack Clark and Lemarechal at Cam behind George Hurst. Still a very familiar looking Ipswich team, but to be fair, it's still a relatively familiar looking Crystal Palace squad as well, to be fair. We've not let a lot of people go, and obviously some of the people in our starting lineup have come through our youth setup as well, so they are Crystal Palace people. Starting a bit of a rotated side here, to have the full strength side available to take on Sunderland at home in the Simmer a little bit later on. Krupi played in down the wing here. Let's start with a goal, shall we? At least a chance, please. Weston McKennie to Shepherd. He and Ezil Zuli link up nicely, but there's not really much room there. Uche around the corner. Nice. And the 1-2. And the goal! Dream start at Portman Road! Ipswich might be in the relegation zone after this match day weekend. This is not the Christmas present they were after. Philogene out to Furlong. A bit of fancy footwork, but they've screwed themselves. Philogene will have the pace to keep up with Ezil Zuli here, which is going to stop us from creating a really good chance. But I might still be able to find Uche. We might still be able to find a teammate. And Krupi's making no mistake. Wow! Talk about make sure. Foot through it, son. Krupi with his second goal in this competition for us. In 3 appearances in the Premier League. He's bagged in the Cup as well, I think. 1 against Liverpool, 1 against Ipswich. Uche's physicality difference there. And, well, Krupi was just off his mark. Much quicker than Tom Roth, who didn't know what was happening. Neither did the goalkeeper. Ball was passed him before he even knew that Krupi had hit it. Speed of light, that one. I want to chop him so bad. I got him. Don't worry, I got him. Man or ball, but not both. Hurst. And Riyadh does enough. Sorry about that. Shepherd. How wide well to Abdi Ezelzouli. It has been quite refreshing, actually, in this game to dominate the way that we have. Considering recently we've had a lot of very close fixtures. Thanks, I presume, to turning player-based difficulty on and playing against some really high-quality players. We've had some very, very close games. Most have been 0-0, 1-0, 2-1. Obviously, we beat Manchester United by 3-0, which is the outlier. But most games recently have been really closely fought, and you couldn't really pick a winner in either, or predict a winner, should I say, in either. So, to be as one-sided here as we have is really quite refreshing to know that we can still boss a team like this if and when it comes down to it. When we play slightly lesser opposition, trying to get the job done is doable. No third yet, but any more goals that are to be scored in this game surely are only going to come at one end of the pitch. RTG last year that was so successful for us. Here's Jaden Philogene down the wing for Ipswich, just bursting beyond everybody. And, well, he's got to do better. If Ipswich are going to find their way back into the game, that has to go in. But it hasn't. Oh, and they've left so much room here for Krupi to get into as well. And he's going to duly get into it, looking for Uche, who needs to bring this down and has done. And it's just as well we've got a 2-0 lead. It really is. Because chances like that, in more important games, in crunch moments, have to go in. If we were drawing 0-0, let's hit a handball, but they got the advantage. They're going to take the advantage? No, they're not allowed to take the advantage. Cheers, ref. We're going to find ourselves in a position at some point this season, maybe even in a cup final, where we're going to have a chance like that, and it's going to need to go in. And if Uche is going to be doing that, then it will be definitely, go on Weston, there you go, it will definitely be John Duran that's starting ahead of him. We have bagged a third, it has been coming, it finally is here. Dink, dunk, Jaden, strike. Oh, Philogene got those in the locker, hasn't he? Scored a stormer against Norwich in the local derby in the Championship a couple of weeks ago. And he very nearly scored a stunning consolation goal for Ipswich here. But no consolation goal comes. And the 3 points and the 3 goals all our way. Thank you very much. That's just what we needed from that fixture. Now, if we can get the win against Sunderland in the Simmer, then we've definitely done things the right way round. Perfect Christmas present for us. Not necessarily for Ipswich. Here's your lump of coal, gentlemen. If we don't win this one, then I'll be sending all of my side a lump of coal for Christmas. 3-1 win. Everybody gets a bag of chocolate coins. 3-1 Crystal Palace over Sunderland. Perfect end to the calendar year. We're up into 4th and we face 3rd place Newcastle in the first game of January. Newcastle could go 2nd again. They still have that game in hand. We're 4 points clear of Chelsea now, 5 points clear of Fulham, and 6 points clear of Liverpool. Villa have a game in hand. Arsenal still also a game in hand, but can only come up to 30. Halfway through our season, at least, we are, and will still be, regardless of when other people play their match day 19, in the top 4. Now, what I want to know is what other English sides are in the Europa League that could maybe win it and stop us from getting a Champions League spot if we finish 4th again. Aston Villa look good so far to make it through to the knockout stages. Is it just ourselves and Aston Villa that are in the Europa League this year? Well, I don't see Aston Villa winning the whole competition. I also don't really see us winning the whole competition. But so long as Aston Villa don't, then that's the most important thing, and we can finish top 4 in the league. That's the plan. Right, so as we head into January then in the next episode, we will be taking on an even busier month than the one that we've just played. Newcastle, Fulham, Brentford and Manchester United before Brighton, Malmö, Villa, which would be great if we could win that, Lugano and Sunderland again. Oh, God, it doesn't stop, does it? And February's just going to get more busy because we should hopefully have, if we can win... Actually, no, it'll be March, won't it, when they come? But there'll be an FA Cup game in there, hopefully, as well, if we can beat Brentford. It's just... Basically, we need the squad to just stay fit. No more food poisoning, please. I'm not sure I can take it. The squad definitely can't. That will do for today's episode, though. Thank you very much for watching, guys. You leave us in 4th, back where we wanted to be. We're not challenging for the title as it stands, nor really do we want to be challenging for the title in just Season 2 at Crystal Palace. But I guess after finishing 4th last year, having a side that is as strong as ours is becoming, because let's have a look at the player ratings looking here. Duran 83, Amor 85, Wharton's now 86, Diamande 84, Henderson 85. We're starting to edge towards a title challenging side, and I do need to put Curtis Jones back into the starting lineup there, and then we can take let's take Eddie Nketiah out of there, and Weston McKennie can go back in. So the side is looking strong, and hopefully players like Lacroix, etc., will grow a bit more before the end of the season. But regardless, we're doing all right at the minute. Form is turning, results are coming, goals are flowing again. And hopefully, trophies will follow this year. I'll see you tomorrow.